Good morning, sunshine. It's me, Sunny, and thank you for coming back to my channel. Today is going to be the first tutorial in a series of many that I'm so excited about. This concept actually came to me before I even filmed the first video. This was the thing that I thought of that I wanted to do with this channel. And now I'm finally doing it. I want to talk about how, for me, makeup is magic. Makeup is absolutely a powerful form of magic that we can harness and use to our advantage. I mean, people have been wearing makeup for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years for so many different reasons.
There's, sexy makeup, there's war paint, there's freaky scary makeup, there's flirty and soft, there's makeup to cover wounds, there's makeup to tone down redness, and all the things.
The list could go on and on and on. But what I want to really focus on is just the root basics of color. So if that sounds exciting for you, then I think you should just keep on watching. And if you're bored out of your mind already, then I guess you should probably stop watching this video immediately. Red represents motivation, ambition, passion, seduction, this survival instinct, physical goals, the root chakra, action, power, sexuality, creativity, Mars, and the fiery Aries energy. We can use all of those things with the color red to just conjure and put that energy out there. Or if it's an energy that you're lacking, then put out the invitation to bring that energy back to yourself. So starting off this series with the color red, I invite you to dig in and use that seductive energy to pull out your innermost creative, ambitious, passionate desires. I mean, if you want, you can seduce the boy at the coffee shop on the other side of the plexiglass wall. But let's maybe start by seducing our innermost selves. So I actually am just gonna kind of stick with something fairly simple that you should be able to replicate at home, and we're gonna do a smoky eye with a little glitter, because let's make it fun. It's all about red today. The root chakra, survival energy, motivation, intention, action. You know what? Red is such a powerful color. So we're gonna let the color be the star. All right. Here we go. Using the My Chemical Romance by HipDot palette. For my base shade, I'm gonna go in with Mausoleum Door. Ah. I know this is a little bit dark for a base shade, but who cares? I almost forgot to mention, I am using my Wayne Goss number 16. This is my trusty, ultra big, fluffy brush that I like to use to lay down washes of color above the lid. Next, we're going to go in with a shade called Starless Eyes on a BH Cosmetics number 8 brush. This is basically a little baby, fluffy blending brush. It's very moody, cold red. I want to make sure that there's plenty of space in the corner of my eye for something shiny later, so I didn't bring that color in too far, just flush with the corner of the eye. Just a heads up, this palette is currently sold out. I don't know if it was limited release or not. This is the first and only PR that I've ever received. So thank you, HipDot, for sending me the MCR collection, because I don't know how I would have gotten my hands on it otherwise.
The Garnet palette from BH Cosmetics, which is a January monthly palette, like the Birthstone Inspired collection. It's got a couple beautiful reds, and I'll leave some more in the description box below if I think of some. But for now, I'm just going to keep using this palette. You can replicate this look at home with any red.
So now that we have a nice wash of red, I am going to grab the Ace Beauté Blossom Passion palette. We're going to go in with this nice dark red shade called Lust, just on the outer third, right above the lid, on the same brush that I just used. That initial Wayne Goss number 16 brush, I'm just going to kind of soften out the edges here. Just a wee touch of blending for you, darling. We love to blend. I'm taking another, unfortunately sold out, limited edition palette because these palettes just have such good reds in them. And this is the Waiting Room palette from the Beetlejuice collection by Melt Cosmetics. And I've chosen the shade No Exit. It's this just really luscious, deep, deep maroony red. And we're going to touch up the inner corner with just a whisper more darkness. Circular motions out toward the corner of the brow. Okay, that is just enough depth. I was very cautious to only stay in the red range for this since it's a monochromatic look. You could do this with a black or maybe even like a dark brown, but I wanted to play exclusively with red toned shades. I'm going to take a Wayne Goss brush number 19. It's kind of just a pointy, smaller, creasy, blendy type of brush. And I'm going to dip it in a little bit of fixing powder. If I can find it. Aha. This is just my Essence All About Matte fixing powder that I seem to use all the time. Just to soften this little space where the shadow almost, well, actually, you know what? It does reach the brow. I just don't want it to be too dark right there. We'll touch up around the outside with concealer a little bit later. I'm going to go ahead and throw on this really amazing liquid shadow on the lid. This is in the shade Cranberry. It's the Pot de Creme collection from Chic Beauty. It has a doe foot applicator, but today I'm going to use a brush. It's just dipping on that doe foot. Ready? This stuff is so beautiful. There are two different liquid shadow collections from Chic. There's the Peau de Creme, which are like kind of creamy metallics, and the other ones are called Diamond Charts, and they're like liquid glitter. They're not completely opaque, but they're also not completely sheer. I tend to use them over something though, whereas this is pretty opaque. You can just paint with it. Very pretty. And I'm going to grab that BH Cosmetics number 8 brush that I was using earlier and just kind of feather out the edges of this before it dries. It does dry pretty quickly, by the way. And if you wait too long and it already starts to dry, you can just go in with that deepening shadow that you were using before and just kind of blend out the sides of it. To bring a little extra life to just the very inner corner of my lid, I am going to dip into the HipDot Glitter Deco palette in a shade called Idol. This shade is red, but it's pink-ish. The other red in this palette is orangey. I don't want to use an orangey red on this look, so we're just going to go in with Idol. HipDot's glitters are amazing. You can use a base, but you don't totally need one with these. They're kind of like creamy. So this brush is a Morphe M124. It's just a little flat kind of shader brush. Patting that down. When I was a little kid, like, I want to say I was literally in like first grade. I have memories all the way back to when I was tiny. I feel like it's a Cancer thing. If you're into astrology, I don't know, Cancers, we hold on to stuff. But anyway, this girl that I was best friends with told me that Satan was attracted to the color red. So I had a red bunk bed at the time, and I just developed this crazy fear that the devil was going to get me in my sleep. Oh my goodness. Glitter fallout is a disaster. Alright, next I'm going to use a little bit of concealer and just kind of like soften out the edges and get ready for that inner corner and the eyeliner portion of the eye look. This is NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop in the shade Alabaster. I hardly ever use these blender things. I'm still like not totally convinced that they're amazing, but you know. This is a Sigma Precision Flat Angled P88 brush. I am loving this red eye. It showed up at the doorstep. So this is the Milani Stay Put eyeliner. I love it. They've got a bunch of colors. I just found out they had red and I just had to get it. I can never really find red eyeliners that I like. I mean, I have a few that I like, but they're like kind of brighter tones. This one is, I swatched it on my hand earlier. It's just a nice deep red. The shade is called Picante. I'm just gonna throw a little bit of that on my outer third waterline. And up into the tight line. By the way, I don't know how many of you might also have this issue, but the very, very outer corner of my waterline will not hold product whatsoever. Like, I have tried everything, some of the most prestigious eyeliners, and like everywhere else it'll stick, but I can like set over it with powder, I can use Inglot, mixing medium, anything. It just like, yeah, no. My trusty Exact Blend by Sigma Beauty. Ooh, I could not live without this brush. It is the E32. Use it every time I get ready. Just gonna do a little smudge. Now on my flat definer E15 Sigma Beauty brush, I'm going to take the dark shade from the Waiting Room palette and just bring it right under where I put that eyeliner. Actually, I'm going to use the shade next to it called Obituary. It's just a touch less dark. Ooh, this look just screams, I am my own Valentine. But I'd really like for somebody to bring me a box of chocolates anyway. Just leave them on the porch and go away. We're gonna do a little more glitter because I'm just feeling like that powerful glitter fantasy is just gonna... I have another glitter palette from HipDot. This one is the Nude Nouveau. I'm gonna use the shade Femme. It's like a silvery pink, very pretty. Even though a glitter base for these is not totally necessary, I'm gonna use it anyway because I really want it to stay in one spot and I don't want to encourage glitter fallout. It's probably gonna happen anyway. So this is my BH Cosmetics Base Booster. Tis a glitter and shadow glue.
Just gonna bloop some onto the back of my hand.
This BH V9 will do. It's like a kind of pencil brush. Oh yeah, this is a perfect brush for this. I want to try and get a little bit more of a defined glitter line over here, and then in the corner I'll kind of just let it be a little bit messy. I like the sultriness of this eye, so I want to keep that kind of like grunge factor. Look, I know sultry and grungy are not the same thing, but they can be friends. Alright, dipping into that glitter shade Femme on the V9 BH brush. I'm just plopping that glitter as precisely as I can get it. Fun. Ooh, this makes me want to put something shiny over here too. We'll get there. I think I'm gonna go back to the waiting room palette because there is a really cool, let's see. Yeah, that's it. It's called Sod Girl. I'm just gonna take that pointy brush and give it a little dip. Grabbing that angled flat brush again that I was using earlier on the concealer and just kind of lightly softening that edge. I would say this definitely makes me feel powerful. It's the look of ambition. I picked the Power Pencil Shimmer Silver from BH Cosmetics. This liner was in their Christmas collection. I don't know if they're still available, but if they are, I'll leave them in the description box below. Just gonna pop that in right there. And then I will use that same Picante red one from Milani and just kind of blend the two together. Aha! So I got used to doing this. I don't actually have the bottom half of my face makeup on, but whenever I do the full face instead of eyes down, which is rare, I'll grab like this is a Blendiful by Tati Beauty, but I'll grab like this or, you know, just something that's dry essentially, whether it's a puff or whatever, and use that to hold onto my face so that I don't fuck up my makeup below. But I didn't really need to do that today, but in case you were wondering why I was doing that, just force of habit. For the face portion, I decided to go with this Cruel Intentions blush from Colourpop. It's a very red blush. And I'm still debating on the lip color. Let me just throw on some foundation and a little bit of bronzer, and then we'll finish off with blush and a lip. Oh, mascara too. I got so caught up in the glitter earlier that I forgot about the inner corner and brow bone. So I just barely got this in the mail with the red eyeliner. This is the Blacklight Highlight palette from BH Cosmetics. I've heard great things. So there's this amazing color called Illusion. It's like a duochrome kind of pink to blue. I think because this is a colder red that it's going to work perfectly, and I'm also going to use it as a highlighter in a bit. So just dipping in with my BH Cosmetics V15 chunky pencil brush, spraying that. Oh my goodness. I really hope you can see that on camera. It's very pretty. I can just hear the dogs like traipsing about upstairs. I think they're a little bit bored. I took them for a walk earlier while the sun was still out, but you know what? They can hear me down here having conversation with the camera and they don't approve. Now grabbing a Hey Shorty kind of smudge brush from Beauty Bay. I'm gonna throw that same shade right up here. I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but it's just adding a tiny whisper of iridescence. I'm not wetting the brush for the brow bone because I don't want this color to fight with the shades below it. Alrighty, so as you can see, I put on a little bronzer, foundation, gave my nose a whisper of a contour, and now I'm going to throw on some of this lovely red blush, a BH Cosmetics number 3. This brush is my favorite, very fluffy. I love a high blush placement. This next video that will come out on Friday is going to be all about blush and the color pink. The power of pink, darling. So I just went a little heavy-handed on that because I was daydreaming or whatever, but you know what? We're gonna give it a go. I basically make a little crescent moon shape, starting at like the high point of my cheekbone and wrapping around. That is my personal favorite way to put on blush. Blush works differently for everyone, of course, but I find when I put it down here, it just looks weird. It makes my face look like a Cabbage Patch Kid or something. And the high blush gives my face that angular illusion. My face is fairly round. I think the facial hair definitely gives my face some angles that it wouldn't already have. I'm thinking of shaving soon, by the way. I don't usually have facial hair, so it's kind of weird that I introduce myself to the YouTube universe with a beard. But you know what? We all have multiple aspects of our identities, right? Gorgeous! Now for a little highlight. I'm gonna not wet the brush just to see. This is a BH Cosmetics 18 brush. So far it's my favorite highlighter brush. Very pretty. Alrighty, I'm feeling pretty good. I've made a decision that's a little out of the box for me, but I want to do lashes with this look. But I'm not going to let you see me struggle with putting on lashes. So I'm going to do those off camera, throw on a lip, and come back with the finished look. Surely you didn't think I was going to put on some gigantic lashes and cover up all this eyeshadow, did you? Nuh-uh. We don't do that around here. It's very silly. I am going to part ways with you today by reading a little mantra inspired by the color red, which represents the root chakra. Once again, thank you so much. Feel free as I'm saying this to repeat it to yourself or just listen and take in the feels, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Also, like, subscribe, follow, share this with your mother and your brother and your sister and all your cousins and your nieces and your nephews, or don't. That's fine too. I just appreciate you watching. So, without further ado, here's the closing mantra, and I will see you soon. I am connected to all that is around me. This connection gives me a strong foundation and does not hold me back. Security and stability in life allow me to move with both confidence and connection to who I am. Thank you again for coming and spending this time with me. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you can bring a little sunshine into your life today. Hope you're staying safe, finding joy wherever you can. I will see you on Friday for a little discussion about the color pink. And then Tuesday next week, and then Friday, and then we're going to be seeing a lot of each other. And I love it. Bye!
Goodbye.